We're planning a Prince's Teaching Institute event at the Natural History Museum in London with the aim of inspiring teachers in biology and also giving them some ideas about the cutting-edge research that the museum is actually carrying out, combined with the historical context and the amazing resources and specimens and samples that they have available. I found when I visited the museum that there are a huge variety of topics that we could cover that are in fact relevant to A-level biology and in fact GCSE science, and that maybe lots of people wouldn't consider using the ideas or the resources from the museum. By taking teachers behind the scenes and to see the displays and to find out what the team have got on offer there, it's going to give them an update both into their subject knowledge and into the ideas of presenting it in their lessons.
So what we do at the PTI is offer sort of high quality, rigorous CPD days for teachers across, at the moment it's across all of the sciences and 4 other subjects. And it's basically taking the teachers back to the classroom, so meeting leading academics in the field who are doing current research sort of in a wide variety of topics. One of the key components is, and one of our sort of catchphrases is that we're for teachers by teachers. So our CPD days are led by teachers who come to us with an idea, and then we help them to sort of source speakers and venues, and we take on the admin, and they're then free to sort of live out their heart's desire, I think, in terms of what they'd like to achieve and what they'd like to take back to the classroom and what they'd like others to take back to the classroom as well.
My role here is a learning programme developer, and what that basically means is we look at the curriculum, we look at the collection, and we see what matches and what's going to inspire pupils to study science in future. And the most enjoyable thing for me is seeing people's faces when they see some of the really surprising behind-the-scenes exhibits, and we've chosen them really carefully. So, for example, some of the stuff about forensic anthropology, something people really don't realise goes on at the museum, and it's something that pupils find really, really interesting.
This morning after the forensic anthropology lecture, I'm thinking about getting some skulls, plastic skulls, and working with the art department and doing some facial reconstruction with the sculpture part of our art department.
We see lots of aspects that we can just kind of draw back into year 7 and 8 work. So for example, a CSI themed topic of using some of the things that we in our first lecture.
I was inspired by a biology teacher in my 3rd year of school, so in year 9, who got me really interested in biology and the human body. And that paved the way for the rest of my studies, really. And then I became interested in the legal aspects and the forensic aspect of things. So to combine the human body and forensic science sort of led me to anthropology and helping to solve crimes by using the human body.
Then, of course, we met Dr. Shelley Cook. She talked about her work with mosquitoes and malaria. Again, that's something that people can see online, so it's giving people a chance straight away to be able to use it.
I'm really grateful to be here at the Natural History Museum because here in particular we have the David Attenborough studio where we get to interact directly with schools and other members of the public about what we do.
The studio is a lovely horseshoe arrangement of tiered seats, which means that everyone in the audience can feel close to what's happening, whether it's a conversation with a scientist, whether it's one of our interactive shows with amazing props and fun presenters. There's that real connection with what's happening.
I think the thing that sums it up for me is I was told after the last talk that I did here that 2 students switched to study science, having been doing other subjects. So we're obviously making a difference. And when I think about the big picture and how we're contributing potentially to big issues in public health or the environment, then that's all I can ask for, and it really makes my job extra rewarding.
So we put on daily events showing the public the science and research that goes on here at the museum. In terms of my role with inspiring people to take up careers in science, I think just letting people know how much fun science is and the wonderful opportunities for travel and for discovering things that have never been discovered before. I think that's quite inspiring in itself. So we just try and present what it's like and hope that that does the job for us.
I think one thing that I've really appreciated was the Attenborough lecture, and I didn't realise these were online. Clearly they're very specialist, they're done by specialist individuals. I would want to use that in sixth form teaching and maybe for top set for GCSE. And I just think the idea of illustrating to pupils about other resources and not just going to the standard textbook or just to the library, but to be able to see an online lecture I think the flavour of that and the benefit of that is huge.
Well, I'm thinking the stuff with DNA and the sort of the phylogenetic stuff that we looked at with the lecture that we just went to was really good, because there's lots of sort of textbook-rich, traditionally textbook-based DNA and evolution activities. So looking at new ways of presenting that and activities that the kids can use to get them more engaged with it, that's going to be really useful. And also keeping up with current science because it moves so quickly.
I think I'd mainly use it by getting my colleagues, getting the staff, getting the kids onto the National History website and using all the resources they have here to help their learning, to help all the stuff we do in class with some real world life examples.
I would also like to use the video conferencing that they do on a Monday at 12 o'clock, where they have an opportunity to meet a real scientist and ask questions and see how they actually use data in a real situation to answer real questions.
So something we're really excited about is a new project involving a remotely operated vehicle. This is actually quite a special remotely operated vehicle that's micro in size, so we're able to deploy it from small boats or even off the shore and go down to about 200 metres water depth, both for research and for teaching. So we're really excited about some of the outreach parts of that. So it's a tiny little thing, small yellow craft, has a high definition camera on it, so we're able to go down and record video from the seafloor. And one of the most exciting things, we're actually able to link that back through to the Natural History Museum through the Attenborough studio, so the members of the public can see it, and we'll also be streaming that out to schools, which is going to be really fun. So people are actually, instead of kind of having this idea of the ocean as being rather a sort of unknown and out of sight environment, want to be able to see it and actually kind of engage.
Actually, that's something that people can take part in through interactive video conferencing in spring, and that's going to link in with National Science and Engineering Week in March. So that'll be a really nice opportunity for people to actually go and get involved.
We've got a dive club at school as well, so we're looking at maybe doing some data collection around the coast. That'd be good, taking some photos. And I don't know how yet, but I'd really like the idea of the research just for curiosity's sake, and I don't know how I'm going to use it, but it'd be really nice to get the kids involved just because they want to know something.
Cameras that I've been using is brilliant as well. The first idea that came to mind was a kind of adaptation fashion show which we can record, where the kids can display an animal they can create and some adaptations that they can maybe build into their costume.
Despite unexpected when I was given the opportunity to touch the third fossil ever to be discovered of a dinosaur.
And then Opal doing their work with citizen science, also doing their work looking at local environment, but particularly not so much exotic places, but places that sort of suburban landscapes, really looking carefully at the sort of species that you'd find in those habitats, but also trying to develop pupils' interest in doing research for themselves.
How we've had science clubs, but in a sense they've lacked momentum, or perhaps they've felt too much like a lesson, whereas perhaps if we used some of the ideas you've got on video photography and things like that, that might inspire the students to come along to the science club and perhaps get a little bit more out of it.
I think one of the things I'd do is definitely use the video camera, the flip camera, in order for kids to record almost a video diary of a project that they're doing on E. coli in conjunction with a scientist that's in a local science institute.
Well, I think I've got lots of ideas for developing new resources, with lots of ideas for people's research to read up on. We've got a specific area in our AS coursework where they've got to look for the role of biologists, and I think I've come away with a good number of ideas of projects that they can look at for that.
I didn't expect to get as much out of it as I have. I think there's lots of ideas and things that we can do, lots of projects that we can get involved in, and ways to actually get the pupils learning outside of the classroom and to really fire their curiosity. So it's been really good. I really am going to try and organise a trip for my A-level class and for some of my lower school classes to really just get them seeing how science works outside of the traditional, you're going to do biology because you want to be a doctor or a dentist.
Well, the feedback that teachers have given us from the day was, I think, overall very, very positive, and there were a lot of smiles and people that said that they were inspired by what they saw. So in that count, I'm really pleased, and I think that the experts that they've met and the scientists that they've spoken to and the things that they've seen have really helped to inspire some quite new ways of thinking. inspire, 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 and I think, 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 inspire. inspire, and I think